discussing something about the dot convention. And have I told about the dot convention any time before? I don't think so. No, no.
No, sir.
Yes, no.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. And let me discuss something about the dot convention. Okay. So before the dot convention is starting, I would just like to discuss few points about the mutually coupled circuit. Okay. And the best example of the mutually coupled circuit is the transformer. So suppose this is a transformer. And the winding is applied in this transformer, something like this. Okay. And there's applied voltage V1. Okay. Now this applied voltage V1 will generate the current I1 in the primary winding. And because of this current I1 in the primary winding, the flux phi will be generated in the winding. Okay. And what is the value of induced EMF in the transformer primary side? This you must have read in your first years. That if a time varying voltage is applied in some circuit, closed circuit, then there will be induced EMF or not. That induced EMF is given by E1, and E1 value is how much? N times d phi by dt. Is it clear? And the polarity will be such that it will oppose the voltage because of which it is being generated. So V1 and E1 will always be opposing in nature. This you must have read in your first years. Okay. Now, the inductance of any coil is given by number of turns multiplied by total flux linkage upon the current that is flowing in that coil. Okay. So here, instead of phi, you can put it as something like this, or induced EMF in the voltage or the inductor is also given by V equals to, if you, I'm sorry, just a minute. If you put this phi here, so you will get E1 as N times Li phi N, and this is d by dt. So this will get down to E1 equals to L di by dt. So that is why in the inductor such kind of formula comes. I hope this thing is clear to everyone, where L is the self-inductance of the winding. Self-inductance of coil. You got this? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
this you must be knowing in your from the class first year. Okay. Now because of this V1, the current, because this circuit is closed, there will be the current I1 in the circuit. And because of this current I1, the flux phi will be there in this circuit. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this flux phi will be generated in the circuit. And this flux phi will be a combination of two fluxes. One is the self flux and one is the mutual flux. I mean, this phi will be having two components. One component is the flux, which is only covering this, the first coil. And the second component is the common flux, which rotates in the core and links with the secondary coil also. This is a combination of two fluxes. Okay. Now, because of the flow of this current flux phi m, there will be induced EMF in the secondary or not? If this flux phi m is rotating in the coil, the induced EMF will be there in the secondary also. So the secondary induced EMF is given by N2 d phi 2 by dt, d phi m by dt. Is it clear or not? Hmm? Now, similar to the term with the self-inductance, there is a term of the mutual inductance which will arise because of the flux that is mutually coupling the two coils. Okay, so the flux phi s is the self-inductance, but the flux phi m, which is the mutually coupling flux, okay, the inductance that is induced by this mutually coupling flux is given by N2 times phi m by, I mean, if the circuit is closed, that will be I1. Is it clear? Yes or no? And this flux does not depends upon the flux that is flowing in that coil, in the secondary coil. It depends upon the flux and the current which is present in the first coil. You see, N2 phi m is the mutual flux, I1 is the current that is flowing in the primary coil. So that is why this is known as the mutual flux. And what is the induced EMF in the secondary? Because of the flow of this mutual flux, if you put this phi m here, you will get as E2 equals to N2 times d by dt of m times I1 by N2. Okay, and this will reduce to m times di1 by dt, which is equals to N2 di by dt. D phi by dt. I'm sorry, d phi m by dt. Is this clear or not?
Yes, sir.
This equation. So overall, I can say that if this is a transformer, and if this is a transformer, there will be the induced EMF E1 here, which will be equal to L di by dt, or which will also be equal to N1 d phi by dt. Similarly, there will be an induced EMF E2 in the secondary coil, which will be equal to m times di1 by dt. Okay, and this will also be equal to N2 times d phi m by dt. Okay, this is E2 and E1. This thing it may be new for you, that you must have read these two formulas, this one and maybe this one, but you wouldn't have read these two formulas related to each other. That there will be the induced EMF E2, which is because of the current that is flowing in the I1 in the primary coil. So this kind of circuit, these two are mutually coupled circuit. Why? Because the current flowing in one circuit is affecting the flux linkage in the other circuit. So such kind of circuit is known as a mutually coupled circuit. You got it? Just hold for a second. Okay. So such kind of circuit is known as a mutually coupled circuit. Now let me tell the another concept in the extension of this one only. That if this is a transformer, now you have to tell me the direction of current where uh, which will flow in the secondary coil. Suppose this is a direction. This is a coil. and V1 applied voltage is here plus minus, and the current I1 is flowing here, and the flux is flowing in this direction, the mutual flux. Please tell me the direction of current in the secondary winding if such kind of mutual flux phi m is flowing here. It will be in this direction, in the clockwise direction, or it will be in this direction. And if someone knows any rule how to find it out, please tell me. Anyone? Any one of you can guess which direction it should be?
Right side.
Right side? This way?
Sir.
Yes,
Why
sir.
is it so? Why is it so?
Sir, the flux which generates the current thus generated always opposes the flux.
Okay. So this thing follows the Lenz's law that uh, the cause will always the outcome will always oppose the force which has produced it. Okay. That is just like action. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, something like that. So initially this coil was not having any current in this. Okay. Any flux was not there. But once the voltage is applied in the primary side, the flux gets linked with the secondary coil and the flux changes here. Now, because of this flux change, okay, because of this flux change, if you connect a load here, this coil will try to produce the current in such a direction so that the current that is generated, I2 that is generated in this coil, the flux of it will oppose the initial flux. So I2 will generate some amount of flux, phi 2, which will oppose phi m. And this is given by the Fleming's right hand thumb rule. Right hand curl rule, thumb rule, I don't know what the people call. But what you have to do, you have to place your thumb, right hand thumb, in the direction of current. Okay. And the direction in which your all the fingers curl, that will give you the direction of flux. So if the direction of current is such a direction here, you place your thumb in this direction and you curl your finger. So you see that the flux, that is the direction in which the fingers are curling, is the upward direction. Therefore, the flux will flow in the upward direction, the opposing flux. Is it fine? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you have to tell me this V1 and the induced EMF E2 are, I mean, the V1 and you can say, or E1. Okay, E1. So this E1 and E2, this E2 will be opposing in nature or not as compared to V1? I think so. It should be opposing in nature. E2 will always oppose V1 because that is a main cause why it is being generated. Okay. And whatever be the voltage that is generated, which is equals to M times di by dt, will be of opposing nature to V1 just because of Lenz's law. So here, by knowing the sense of winding in the means the way the winding is connected across the transformer, you can say whether the induced EMF which is generated because of the mutual coupling, whether it will oppose the voltage V1 or E1, or it will support the voltage V1, V2, V1 and E1. Okay. But if there are n number of coils, suppose there are n number of coils, something like this. Suppose there are n number of coils and you don't know how they're connected. Resistors is connected something like this here, and maybe a capacitor is connected something like this, So anything can be there, something like this. Okay, there is one more resistor here. Let us suppose and they are telling that this coil 1 and this coil 2, they are mutually coupled. Suppose here current is I1, here current is I2. And they are telling that they are mutually coupled. So by looking at these coils, can you tell me that the voltage that is induced in these coils, will they oppose each other or will they support each other? Can you tell me? Again, I am asking you a question. See, suppose the current I1 is flowing in this coil. So this I1 will generate some amount of flux in it. Okay. And the flux which is generated by I1, because these two are mutually coupled, some flux will link here also. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Similarly, there is current I2 here, which was already flowing into, okay, that will have its own flux and that will have one flux which will affect the coil 1 also. So essentially I1 will have some flux which will link with the first coil as well as the second coil. Similarly, I2 will have its own flux phi 2 which will link with the second coil as well as the first coil. Right? So you can say that the voltage, suppose in the first coil I am writing the voltage V equals to L times di by dt. Okay. And this plus and minus of M times di2 by dt. Everyone agrees with this or not? The voltage across the inductor will be the addition of the self-inductance which is generated by default plus the flux which is linking in the first coil because of the second coil. That is given by M times di2 by dt. You got it? Anyone has doubt in this? This will be the voltage across the coil 1. Similarly, if you have some voltage across the coil 2 also, that will be equal to, I'm sorry, this is L1. This will be L2 di2 by dt. This is because of its self-inductance. And that will be plus minus M1 and M2. It is supposed di1 by dt. This is di1. Is this clear? Why is it happening so? Please let me know, then only I can proceed. Otherwise, there is no use. You can expect one question at least from this topic in the exam, I suppose. So please clear this question. Okay. Now, can someone tell me in this question whether the plus sign will be used or minus sign will be used? Just by looking at these two coils, can you tell me the plus sign or minus sign which has to be used? Mutual inductance can be additive also. Mutual inductance can be subtractive also, depending upon the sense of winding and the direction of current. Tell me, it should be additive or positive or subtractive in the coil 1. Anyone? No one knows? Any guess also would work.
Would be plus, sir, because
Why so?
the flux produced by I1 and the flux produced by mutual coupling are in same direction.
Wait. If you are saying so, suppose this is a winding. Suppose this is a winding in one thing. Suppose this is a winding and current I1 is flowing here. And this is another winding. I'm sorry. And if in this the current is flowing in this direction, tell me their flux will be opposing or in whether the produced flux by I2 will oppose the flux by I1 or it will support it if the current is flow in this direction.
Support, sir.
The current flux by I1 will be in this direction. By I2 also it will be in this direction. Okay. But now suppose the winding is wound something like this. Now you tell me whether I2 will support or oppose I1.
Oppose.
Current direction is in this direction. Tell me.
Oppose.
It will oppose. Okay. It will oppose. So you see, suppose you are being given a black box. You don't know about the sense of winding inside it, how it is wound, whether it is wound in this way or whether it is wound in this way. But you can see the direction of current in both the windings. From the terminal wise, it is entering inside. Yes or no? Yes. You have a black box. You don't know what is kept inside, how the windings are wound, you don't know. But from the terminal, in both the black box, the current is entering only. So by seeing the terminals, can you judge that the mutual inductance will be positive or negative? You cannot judge. You cannot say whether the mutual inductance value will be positive or negative. The effect will be positive or negative. Definitely, you must know about how the windings are wounded around that coil. Okay. So by looking at this question, can you tell me how the windings are wounded? This is just a symbol. But you know how the windings are wounded, whether it is wounded in this manner or whether they are wounded in this manner. Can you tell me? You cannot tell. By looking at the figure, you cannot tell how the sense of winding is. Okay. So that is where the use of dot convention came into existence. Okay. Suppose you have to solve some question or some network analysis in which you don't know how the windings are being wounded across the core, then the scientists, what they did, they generated the dot convention and they will place the dot in the windings like this. So I'll just show. They will place the dots in the winding something like this. And they say that if the current enters the dot, if the current I enters or leaves the dot simultaneously, okay, then the effect of mutual inductance will be positive. Suppose in this L1 and L2 is there, okay, and so the net inductance across voltage V1 will be across L1 will be V1 equals to L1 di1 by dt plus M2 M di2 by dt. This effect will be additive if the current enters or leaves the dot simultaneously. I mean, the something can be like this also. If the current leaves the dot here also, and if it leaves the dot here also, then also the effect of mutual inductance will be positive. So here also V1 will be equal to L1 di1 by dt plus M times di2 by dt. Similarly, V2 will be equal to L2 di2 by dt plus M2 di1 by dt. In both of these cases. Everyone understood this? But usually, because these two currents are in series and I1 equals to I2, so M1 will also be equal to M2. Usually, in the question it will be equal only. Okay, the mutual inductance will be equal. M1 and M2 will be equal. But I1 and I2 may differ or may not differ depending upon whether the series connection is there or not. But the sign of the mutual inductance will be decided whether the current is entering the dot simultaneously or it is leaving the dot simultaneously. If it does not happen, if it happens so that current enters one dot and exits the other dot, then the effect of mutual inductance will be negative. Like suppose something like this it is there. So here one dot is placed here and one dot is placed here. And suppose the current is entering from this side. So here it is entering the first dot, but it is here leaving the first dot. So the effect of mutual inductance will be negative. So it will be L1 di1 by dt minus of M di2 by dt. Like it will oppose L1 or it will support L1 will be decided by the dot convention. Is it clear? Similarly, V2 will be also be equal to where V1 and V2 is the voltage across these two coils, V1 and V2. So it will be L2 di2 by dt minus of M times di1 by dt. Is it clear? Yes or no? You can ask me if you have some doubt. No? Okay. So in the exam, you may be asked the question something like this, that is a network source and the inductance are something like this. Okay. And these three inductance are mutually coupled. This is L1, L2, and L3. And the mutual inductance value is M. Suppose it is constant. You have to derive the voltage equation in these circuits. So can someone tell me the KVL equation? Suppose current I is flowing here, I1, I2, and this will be I3. So can someone tell me the KVL equation here in the first loop? Please tell me the KVL equation in the first loop. Any one of you?
V1 minus L1 D1 di1 dt minus
L1 di1 by dt. Okay. Minus
L2
L. Okay.
di2 by dt.
And what about the mutual inductance? These three are mutually coupled. That is what I have told you until till now. These three are mutually coupled. What about the mutual inductance?
Minus M
This
in
equation is wrong. If you
di2
see, you have to write coil wise. So it will be V1 minus L1 di1 by dt. For coil 1, I am writing. Okay. Now coil 1 is linked with second also and third also. So it will be minus M times. Suppose the current is entering in all the three and the dots are kept something like this. So it will be M times, it will be the M will be supporting L because the dots are entering, the current is entering the dots simultaneously. Okay. So M will be of the same sign as of L. It will be M times di2 by dt minus of M times di3 by dt. Now this is like this, you can assume it as one, the first coil is over now. Now you are going to second coil. Minus of L2 di2 by dt. Then the coil second is also linked with both the coils. So it will be minus of M times di1 by dt minus of M times di3 by dt equals to 0. You got it? Now the inductance L, like this, for this coil only these three terms are there. For this coil, these three terms are there. So you can see how the equations are being written. Then the questions may be asked that you have to perform the Laplace transform and find the current equation in such mutually coupled circuit. So I have already told you how to do the Laplace transform of the differential equation. Then you can do that. Is it clear, this equation, how I have written? If you want me tell once more, I can tell it. If not, then I think this is how you have to write the mutually coupled equation. So if some mutually coupled circuit is given, okay, then definitely the dots will be given in the circuits where the dots are being placed, and then you have to write down the complete equation. Okay. Any doubt?
Sir, can you explain once more?
What thing you want to get explained?
How to get the DI3, like why turning all the current. The last
Which one?
equation, the final
See,
equation.
see, if these three circuits were not mutually coupled, suppose, okay, then the equation would have been V1 minus L1 di1 by dt minus L2 di2 by dt minus yeah. So if these were not mutually coupled, then the equation would have been simple, something like this: V1 minus L1 di1 by dt minus L2 di2 by dt. Is this thing clear? If these three
Yes, sir.
circuits are mutually uncoupled, right?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
because they have told that these three coils are mutually coupled with each other, like this, they are coupled. I mean, the flux which is linking the one coil, it is affecting the second coil also, the other coils also. So that is why, suppose the coil 1 is taken, so coil 1 is linked with coil 2 also and coil 3 also. And because of the flux in these two coils, these two extra coils, there will be a mutual inductance in first one also. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So there where these two extra term are coming, m times di2 by dt, m times di3 by dt. And their sign will be same as the the self-inductance sign, because the current is entering the three dots simultaneously.
Yes.
Now you got it?
Yes.
Same thing happens with the second coil also.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you.
So this is how you have to write down the equation. Now they may give that this dot is not here and this dot is here. So what happens here? It is entering the coil and here the current is leaving the coil. Okay. So here the mutual inductance between coil 1 and coil 2 will be of opposing nature to the L1. So this will come out to be positive. Got it? And this will also be positive. This one, I1, I11. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't want. Please call me later. Okay. And this sign will be positive. I'm sorry. Is it clear, this thing? If the dots are something like this, it is entering here and it is leaving here. Now you got it, Meghna?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay. Any other doubt? So this was the about the dot convention which was left in the syllabus. This is how you have to, sir, what if they don't mention via take? No. If it is a mutually coupled circuit, they have to mention the dot. It is not the case that they cannot mention. If I will give the question, I will definitely mention the dots. Otherwise, I will not give the question. Fine? Okay. Fine then. If you have understood, I think that's all for today. Please read about this dot convention also. And if subtopics are left, I will take the class in the middle also. Still, we have a lot of time. So probably I'll engage one more doubt session class. If you have some doubt, please let me know. I will engage one class for that. Okay. Sai Varun, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can let me know. Sai Varun or section, I think Ganesh is the second CR, right?
Dinesh, sir. Dheeraj, sir.
Dinesh. Dheeraj. Okay. So Dheeraj and you can let me know if you have some doubt.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Fine then. That's all for today. Thank you, everyone.